All right, we're down at the shop today. Got a new toy. Y'all I'm sure have seen, cleared this bank off, I don't know, 2 years ago or so. Now it's kind of growed up. Haven't been able to keep up with the weed eating. So I needed a bigger weed eater. I had the little Husky, I got the steel. Still wasn't a big enough weed eater. So we're upgrading today. I think this is going to knock that out a lot quicker, be a lot more efficient, and should last a really long time for what I'm using it for. Got it. This is a VMC. I'll send a link to the folks I purchased this from. It's kind of funny. I couldn't find one anywhere. There's, you know, stock shortages everywhere. Trying to get basically anything. I called the guy up and he came and delivered it 7 hours, cheaper than anybody else had it, even just for sale. But it's a VMC. I kind of looked it over. It looks well built. It's definitely built better than what my little bush hog on the back of the tractor is. As you can see, it's pretty beefy. This is sized right for the machine. I'm gonna flip the camera here and let you take a look at it. So it already had the quick coupler that I needed on it. Got a beefy hydraulic motor. It's not a straight blade. It's a two blade, just like my little bush hog for the tractor is. But as you can see, it's pretty thick stuff. Basically, it's made out of this all the way around bottom. This right here looks like, I mean, I wouldn't push anything big with it, but obviously this is pretty well built here. If you need to push something around, it's symmetric on both sides. That's what it kind of looks like underneath. So you basically got like an axle style nut with cotter pin on the top. It did come with a manual. I haven't even looked at it yet. Just kind of show you a fit and finish there. But yeah, it should be ready to go. I actually, you know, unloading it from the truck, basically put it on the machine. The only additional thing I had to do was the cables, and they're the right length. I'm probably going to just temporarily strap this. Not that these are getting away, I just don't want to put a lot of stress on those cable couplers there. But yeah, we're going to get to it this morning and try to get the lower bank mowed and try to get this upper bank mowed. All right, so we've got a little bit done with it here. So far so good. I've mowed probably half. I'll show it to you here in a second. Probably mowed about half the bank. I've got a little terrace road that I built, but I needed to fix something real quick. It looks like I got a little leak on the auxiliary hydraulics. Leaked out a little bit of fluid. I'm going to check that, and I'm going to check one other thing on the deck. I think there's a valve up front for running it continuously, but I think my hoses are hooked up backwards for that mode. So I'm going to flip those real quick and see if that resolves that issue. I'll let you see what progress we've got done. This is probably, I don't know, 30-45 minutes of work, which would have taken me probably half a day or more out in the baking sun with the weed eater. With this, you don't really have to worry about the grass is wet. You don't have to worry about, you know, rattlesnakes, copperheads, etc. You're sitting up safely on the machine. But let me get you a look here at what we got done. Okay, so we've mowed up as high as we can. The best technique that I found to do is actually I'm on this about to right there where the ground starts rising. I actually did 2 passes with the excavator, one further back, one closer to, and kind of just a swish swash motion, just taking your time. It does throw out a lot of debris, as you can see, so I'm trying to make sure my debris path is to the sides and make sure that I don't shoot anything back towards the trailer or myself, which could happen. They do recommend that you have an enclosed cab or at least some kind of shield on the front, and I'm living dangerously and not doing that because I simply don't have it. But this has turned out really well. You can start seeing a better line there where the brush is completely gone. all the way around. And it actually does a pretty good job. If I wasn't having to swing this way, the cut's really smooth. If you can get the deck completely smooth to the ground, it's not a finish mower, but it's pretty close. It's as good as what I got with a bush hog. But we've got that upper section too, about halfway down the bank. I would say that it's a lot easier to mow above you, like, you know, having the deck up, than it is to try to reach over the bank. It's a little scary, mainly because this is not the smaller one. This is the, I don't know, the 40-something inch. So it's a little heavy for this machine. As far as hydraulics go, they seem to be doing fine. It'll spin the blade up, no issues. This is what it looks like after about 45 minutes of operation. No damage, and it's pretty tough, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna check out this hydraulic leak and hopefully get that fixed and get some more, a little bit more hydraulic fluid in it. Lost just a smidge. It's right at the lower red mark with it warm, so it's pretty low. But I'm gonna get that taken care of and work on this flipping these hoses around. All right, so we got most of it done. Got all the lower bank done down there. Upper bank, I got it all done except for that little section right there, and that's because the front idler on the track, not real happy about going backwards right now. I ordered another one, and I'm gonna wait to do that section until I have that idler fixed. But turned out really good. I'm gonna go back and show you kind of what it looks like in the aftermath. But that was a whole lot quicker than mowing that with a weed eater. All right, so this is after all that mowing, and I don't know, probably a total of about an acre of actual brush cut today. I have no idea how much fuel I used. It's probably quite a bit, because you're pretty much maxing out the machine the whole time you're running it, spinning the hydraulics. The best technique that I found was to actually, you know, get it spun up, and you either can come down on those angles, which does really well if you take little swell cuts, because even though you're not square to the bank, that edge will still cut, and it'll cut really smooth. But really just stick control, moving everything real gentle, smooth, you know, no jerky action. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go up a little high, start the spinning, and listen for the blade to actually start hitting the grass. And you can, once you kind of get in the groove of listening for that, it'll just cut really smooth. I mean, this is the early part that I did, and I missed a couple little spots, which are not a big deal. But the other side of the bank, after I got used to using it, it's as good as I've ever cut. I mean, even on flat ground with the bush hog with the tractor. And like I say, the only real issue I ran into on that bank was my front idler. I think the bearings are out, because basically it'll go forward pretty easy with a little squeak that's new. But when you go backwards, you can definitely tell there's some resistance there and some spots. I've isolated it down to that idler and ordered another one. One thing I'll say, the person that I bought this from, I actually found him on Facebook, and I had called everywhere trying to get one of these for several months now. And I contacted this gentleman. We agreed upon the price, and it was a several-hour drive for me. It's a business, and he responded back to me with a very reasonable shipping quote. And not only a reasonable shipping quote, I called him on Friday, and he brought it on Saturday. So he drove 7 to 8, 9 hours here and had this to me at 8 o'clock this morning, and I got this all knocked out this weekend. So really good customer service. I'm gonna do a little plug for him here. Again, no support or anything. I paid for this out of my own pocket. I'm just trying to do a favor for somebody that did me a favor, which was that really good customer service. They sell VMC as far as I know. It looks like they do quite a bit of repair and this did exactly what I wanted it to. If you've got a little mini excavator and have ever thought about needing to mow a bank like this, this is the way to do it. I've got probably on and off, probably total of maybe 2.5 hours on the machine doing all this cutting. And definitely this would have probably taken me the whole weekend. And that includes, you know, using the excavator to pull down the bigger stuff and still having to go back through and weed eat. This is all one step. And for me, it's good enough finished for the next year. I'll probably mow this like once, maybe twice a year at the most. There is quite a bit of rock, as you can see. This thing does really well with the rock. It's got a breakaway blade, so it just kind of, you've got to be real careful. It will throw rocks several hundred feet. And I'm not joking about the several hundred feet. I knocked a couple all the way out into the field. So you need to be real mindful on where it ejects. Typically, it might have a little splash out the sides, but typically your debris is going to come out here. And again, standard safety warning, I do not have what I should have, which is a guard over the front there, or glass or something. But I really didn't have a lot of problems. I had a little bit of, you know, brush and stuff like fall and hit me, but nothing with super velocity. This is something you want to be careful of. And then, you know, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, then by all means get an excavator that's got a cab and the right safety protection on the front. All right, well, this is going to do it for this video, and hopefully that idler comes in next week and I can get this thing completely running and finish that out over there. Overall, real happy with the purchase. Well, thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button and give it a like if you like this video. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks.